Hello all, welcome back to What's What. It's me, Sylvie. I'm excited to be here again. Today we are going to expand on a previous episode, but with a special focus on fire safety regarding electrical cables and how they reduce the risk of fire hazards in various settings. But before we get started, don't forget to like and subscribe below. Fires can occur in any setting, at home, at the workplace, and in public areas. When it comes to cables, material quality and proper installation is essential to prevention. Cables that are exposed, frayed, or overloaded can lead to short circuits and even fires. Referring to Claudia's tips from season 1, we know that cables should be used for their intended purposes. They should never be lined under carpets, rugs, or furniture without clips or conduits. Nor should outlets be overloaded with too many plugs. Be sure to check for wear and tear, and always keep your cables away from heat sources. So, what's next? How about we put things into perspective? In Europe, 25% of fires are caused by electrical malfunction. Every year, there are more than 1 million fires, that is one every 30 seconds. Such fires can have tragic human consequences, that is, more than 100,000 injuries and more than 4,000 deaths per year. They can also cause billions of euros of damage. And with a 20% increase of electrical consumption over the next 6 years, risks will only increase. Think of how often you use cables now to charge your tablets and phones. And soon, we will use them even more with growing usage of electric cars. In the future, cables should revolutionize safety at home, right? Right, but before we get too far ahead, let's break down the stages of electrical fires. First comes the ignition stage, where the fire starts with a combination of heat, fuel, and oxygen. Such can happen with, say, a short circuit. Stage 2 brings on the smoke, produced by gases, particles, and chemicals. Smoke is a byproduct of the combustion process and can contain a wide variety of substances, some of which are harmful. And stage 3, that is propagation, which in simple terms is the spread of a given fire. Propagation rate depends on conditions such as fuel, oxygen, airflow, and heat. Stage 4 is flashover. This phenomenon occurs when the heat from a fire causes the combustible materials to simultaneously reach their ignition temperature. This results in a sudden and violent burst of flames that measure over 1000 Celsius degrees. Once a flashover occurs, the fire is no longer stoppable. At this stage, firefighters have around 15 minutes to clear the area in danger. So, we can understand why adapting cables to be hazard-friendly is key. Cable manufacturers like Nexans develop categories corresponding to all phases of a fire, from ignition to flashover. Our goal is to make cables inert. That way, we can prevent the spread of a fire and reduce the expulsion of asphyxiating fumes. One example of a new technology is the fire reaction or low fire hazard cables. With their specific material and design, these cables' impact on fire growth is reduced by 5 to 10 times. This limits propagation and curbs smoke production. And this is essential. Today, we have a very, very special guest to explain why. Please welcome Julien from our friendly fire station near Paris in France. Bonjour Julien.
Bonjour Sylvie, merci de me recevoir. Pour commencer, rappelons que la réglementation incendie française met l'accent sur l'évacuation et le désenfumage.
This is why cables must limit the risk of propagation and not reduce visibility during fire evacuation and intervention.
C'est bien cela. Pour garantir le fonctionnement d'un système de sécurité incendie, on utilise des câbles qui ne brûlent pas et non propagateurs. Il est important de limiter les fumées. Dans la plupart des cas, la fumée d'un incendie est plus nocive que les flammes. Pour rappel, 80% des décès dans un incendie sont liés aux fumées. Effectivement, elle contient des gaz nocifs qui asphyxient ou endommagent nos poumons. Pour rappel, la fumée possède 5 dangers. Elles sont inflammables, toxiques, opaques, rayonnantes et envahissantes. On les retient grâce à un mémotechnique ITOR. Tandis que les flammes, elles, sont uniquement dangereuses lorsqu'on se situe à proximité d'elles, et bien sûr, en cas de contact. Quelques conseils, si vous vous trouvez nez à nez avec un incendie, ne respirez pas la fumée, car environ 7 respirations peuvent vous faire tomber dans les pommes. Mettez-vous à l'abri dès que possible. 2 cas de figure peuvent vous arriver. Le premier, vous êtes face à un incendie dans votre appartement. Quittez-le sans délai. Rendez-vous à l'extérieur du bâtiment sans oublier de fermer toutes les portes derrière vous. Le deuxième cas de figure est un incendie chez un voisin. Vérifiez que les couloirs sont praticables, si tel est le cas, évacuez. Sinon, calfeutrez-vous chez vous et appelez les secours. Si vous êtes en Europe, composez le 112 pour avoir les secours et aux États-Unis, le 911.
Thank you, Julien, for helping us understand what to do in case of a fire.
Eh bien, merci Sylvie pour la contribution de votre équipe à la sécurité incendie. Et n'oubliez pas, les services d'incendie les plus proches de chez vous sont là pour vous aider en cas de besoin. Alors à très vite, mais pas trop quand même, avec tous mes conseils. Et ne jouez pas avec le feu. À bientôt.
Au revoir, Julien. Alright, let's move on to our next step. How exactly do fire safety cables differ from standard cables? What we have here are 2 cables, a fire reaction cable, the other one standard. Within a 4-meter test chamber, we ignite burners to stimulate a trash fire. After a minute and a half, we can see the difference between the 2 cables, and it's clear which one holds improved performance. The traditional cable is damaged and has produced noxious fumes, whereas the fire-grade cable is unaffected by the flames. So, which cable would you want in your home? I think the answer is obvious, don't you? But even after flashover is reached and fire becomes uncontainable, some electrical equipment must remain functional. Smoke detectors, emergency signals, fire doors and water pumps are all necessary safety utilities that help keep us safe in the event of a fire emergency. These devices are connected with fire-resistant cables, which maintain function at very high temperatures. As we speak, newly improved technologies are being developed to transform plastic material into a ceramic that can withstand excesses of 1000 Celsius degrees. To develop and verify performance, cables are electrically powered and tested on burners. Like in the video you saw a few moments ago. Impressive, isn't it? Looks like we will have a safer future. What more could we ask for? Now, how about a quick recap? 25% of fires in Europe are produced by electrical malfunction. By 2030, a 20% increase in electrical usage will produce more risks. There are 4 stages of fire: ignition, smoke production, propagation, and flashover. In most cases, smoke is more harmful than flames. Low fire hazard cables delay fire ignition, propagation, and curb the acidity and opacity of smoke. Fire-resistant cables continue their operation through fire events to ensure safety. Manufacturers are working to develop strengthened materials and cables that will enhance our safety. Alright, so we know a bit more about fire safety and how cable technologies are being developed to prevent fire hazards. The question now is, do you, the viewer, have any information on fire hazards? Any ideas on how we can ensure a safer future? Feel free to drop a comment below. Thanks for joining us. This is Sylvie, tuning out.